Dawn rises over the Rhine still water, dark forests, distant hills. Here history begins with geography. He opens a blank notebook and looks ahead. To understand a nation, follow what it connects and what it divides. Rivers and mountains are drawn, no names yet. Before language, there are paths and boundaries. Vienna appears, silhouettes around a long table. Europe is rearranged, as if order could be sealed with wax. But this order is fragmented stamps layered on folded paper, each mark guarding its own identity. Meanwhile, ordinary lives continue behind modest doors. Normal life is what states ultimately seek to control. People gather on a hilltop, coats whipped by wind. A shared desire rises, not yet spoken. A road barrier lifts. Goods begin to flow. When tariffs retreat, a larger idea quietly forms. Railways follow steam engines, pulling the world closer. Distance shrinks, and power adapts. On a smoke-filled platform, he watches the train depart. Time accelerates and so do tensions. The Ruhr darkens with coal and brick. Power now lives not only in crowns, but in furnaces. Berlin, 1848. Empty streets, lingering traces. When dreams collide with reality, fog arrives first. In Frankfurt, men fall silent beneath a vast hall, trying to give debate a common shape. A ballot slips into a box, hands trembling. Sometimes the future turns on the lightest motion. A crown rests untouched on velvet. Some chances pass like a breath held too long. He studies a map crowded with fragments. To unite them requires a hand steady and cold. Ceremony fills a palace courtyard. Discipline teaches a society how to stand in silence. Under yellow lamplight, he points to a blank ledger. Power often means compelling others to follow. A soldier boards a train. No shots yet, but the air already carries weight. A document is folded and sealed. Wars, too, can end in procedures clean and cold. Strings cross the map. Calculations replace faces. People become positions. Two seals rest side by side. Peace. Sometimes peace is only a pause before a different game. A new council forms before an unmarked cloth. Institutions are built to keep things from breaking apart. Fire and steel blaze in factories. This era forges power through industry, not vows. 1870. Platforms fill again. Farewells mix trust and fear on the same journey. In a mirrored hall, an empire is declared. Its shadow begins to stretch immediately. Berlin becomes capital. Wheels roll down wide avenues. Order enters daily life. Between church bells and state seals, hesitation grows. Society pulls itself in opposite directions. 1873. An empty trading floor. Some collapses make no sound, only dust in sunlight. A small card changes hands. The state reaches into life through current constraint. In Berlin, suited men trace lines across an empty African map. Lines move before people do. 3 portraits draped in black. Crowns change faster than breath. He closes the notebook at the palace gate. Some eras end with a carriage pulling away. Shipyards raise steel frames. Ambition turns toward the sea and the world responds. A canal gate opens. Water is commanded. Engineering turns nature into power. Berlin, early century tram lights glow. Modernity looks beautiful, but it always costs something. A telegram is torn open. Summer 1914. One piece of paper redirects a continent. Stations overflow again, this time with war. Footsteps sound like waves. Trenches, rain, barbed wire, time stalls. The land learns how to carry wounds. Flour is measured into cloth bags. Shortage needs no scream to be felt. 1918 soldiers return, shoulders heavy. No one truly wins when everything is drained. A vacant throne. An era retreats, leaving a cold room behind. A new assembly gathers. Laws attempt to hold what weapons shattered. A pen touches paper. Constitution. Hope is only a thin layer of ink. Posters crowd the walls but say less. Conflict grows as trust erodes. Factory gates change shut. 1923. Economic pressure tightens like a fist. Money piles on wheelbarrows. Inflation turns labor into scraps of paper. Old currency is swept away. New notes appear. Order returns, but cracks remain beneath. A handshake trades documents. Stability is sometimes purchased with time. Berlin dances in warm smoke. People laugh to forget and to survive. Lines form outside banks. 1929. When economies break, politics begins to scream. Ballots fall again, hands shaking more than before. A tired society is easily guided. Torchlight fills the night. 1933. Crowds become a stage for destiny. Smoke rises from a domed building. In chaos, power is allowed to travel further. A heavy seal strikes down. Law changes shape. Hand reversal becomes difficult. A sunlit stadium, 1936, grandeur masks the growing shadow. Files are sorted, red lines drawn. Violence often begins as paperwork. Broken glass on sidewalks, 1938. Silence from onlookers becomes part of the story. 1939 border barriers lift. War enters life like a forced door. Wooden blocks slide across maps. Cold logic turns people into coordinates. Winter gear stacks beside trains. 1941. Fog swallows those who depart. Hands assemble parts in factories. 1942. War feeds itself on labor. In shelters, bodies press close. 1943. Fear learns to breathe collectively. 1945. Cities collapse. When everything falls, only ash and persistence remain. A signature trembles on paper. War ends and consequences begin. Courtrooms under flat light. Justice struggles to name what happened. Bricks pass hand to hand. Reconstruction rebuilds belief through sweat. New currency replaces old. 1948. A restart measured in trust. Road barriers drop into Berlin. The city tightens like a long-held breath. Planes descend with supplies. Hope becomes a daily flight path. Barriers lift again. 1949. A light moment and the city breathes. In Bonn, a new parliament. Germany forms quietly. In the east, rows sit rigid. Another Germany closed and hardened. Factories hum. Recovery continues, but the cut remains open. 1955. Handshakes in conference rooms. A new world order frames Europe. 1953. Workers march with blank signs. When voices fail, bodies speak. 1957. Many pens sign at once. An idea forms, bind together to avoid collapse. 1961. Wire and concrete rise overnight. Lives are split in two. He places a hand on the cold wall. This is not just a border, it is a life reshaped. 1968. Crowds return to the streets. Questions do not die, they change tone. 1970. A man kneels at a memorial. Reconciliation begins with humility. 1972. A quiet exchange of documents. Reality is finally acknowledged. 1975. Many hands sign again. Tension loosens like a carefully eased rope. Candles fill public squares. Gentle pressure wears stone down. Narrow corridors, watchful eyes, footsteps, surveillance becomes routine. 1989. People with candles step from churches. Fear retreats. Numbers stand tall. Berlin night barriers open. Embraces outshine every speech. Hammers strike concrete. The wall breaks and the past fractures with it. 1990. Pens move again. Sovereignty returns. Sealed by paper. Dawn at the Brandenburg Gate. The river of people returns this time. It runs free.